are listening to the QSR Web Podcast.
Are you a supplier or brand working to elevate the customer experience? The Interactive Customer Experience Association connects brands, suppliers, agencies, and more who are working to create transcendent customer experiences. Let's work together to create a better customer experience ecosystem for us all. Join the ICX Association today at icxa.org.
Hello and welcome back to the 20th episode of the QSR Web Podcast, your limited service check-in with some of the brands making news and making progress on the quick service front. I'm Shelley Whitehead, editor of QSR Web and Pizza Marketplace, and so happy you've tuned in because today our focus is a food truck-born concept that's causing all kinds of stir, with celebrity endorsements and lines of hundreds of people in traditional food deserts where vegan offerings were presumed dead in the water. Not so, says Slutty Vegan creator and overall force to be reckoned with, Pinky Cole. She's coming up right after this brief message.
The Interactive Customer Experience Association's mission is to connect B2C brands to technology that elevates the customer experience. Brands have access to resources, project help, news, and insights based around boosting their customer experience. Suppliers gain network opportunities to reach these brands and help them provide solutions to elevate their customer experience. Join today at icxa.org.
What do you get if you take a talented TV show producer, add scoops of culinary skills and people savvy, mix in a little bodiness and social media smarts, all backed up by a big heart? Well, in the restaurant world, the relatively recently launched brand Slutty Vegan has to be at the top of the list. And right there along with it is the brand's human personification, founder Pinky Cole, who just happens to be here with us today to tell us about a brand that has just jet propelled to the top of the quick service heap. So welcome, Pinky, and thanks for taking time out to talk.
Well, thank you for having me. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Can we just start with just a plain old status check on who you are, where this brand is as far as locations and trucks and places, and give us an idea of how the brand's path has progressed from light bulb moment to now?
Okay, well, first of all, Slutty Vegan is literally one of those concepts that grew what people may seem to think overnight, right? So I started this concept almost 8 months ago, and it started as a bedroom idea. So I was in my 2-bedroom apartment, and something came to me like a light bulb, and I wanted to create a concept that could hook people to eating a better lifestyle, right? So I've had a restaurant before, back in 2014, but I lost that restaurant to a grease fire. So it propelled me to really want to do something different and in a way where I can really reach the people. So when Slutty Vegan was born, it was really one of those ideas that I never expected to grow or grow like it did. So here we are. I have probably one of the most popular brands in the country, thank God. And I have about 7,000 to 1,000 people who stand in line and patiently to eat burgers and fries. And it's a beautiful feeling. I never imagined it would be like this, but I'm just happy that I'm the person that is like the vocal point and the representative to make all of this goodness and plant-based food come to life.
Beautiful, beautiful. So vegan, the strictest of the strict when it comes to eating and living animal product free, I guess I should say. That's your menu. And as I understand, your very hotly vied for burgers are built around a base of the Impossible Burger, correct?
Yeah, so that's just one of the proteins though. So it's an interesting thing because I started Slutty Vegan. I started with the Impossible Burger, but since the conception of the concept, we've added on other proteins. But people are so in love with the Impossible. Hell, I'm in love with the Impossible Burger. So they know and love that one. But we do have like an array of menu items, which will satisfy whatever feeling that you have, whatever taste buds you have. If you're in the mood for something sweet, if you're in the mood for something spicy or salty, we have it's literally like a party in your mouth. but the Impossible Burger is like the forefront of the Slutty Vegan brand.
Okay. So what I'm curious, Pinky, is to find out why you're a vegan and how you're managing to sell your menu so well, even in communities that, and you've read the same things, that some say just haven't gone for those kinds of offerings previously, but it looks like they are now.
It's interesting because in the Black community, veganism wasn't ever a thing, right? So you see a line, and 95% of the people are African American or minority. And in the South, especially, when you hear of plant-based and vegan food, you typically say, well, if it's not soul food, I don't want it. So now there's a concept where people are waiting patiently to eat this food because, one, it's good. Two, it's really opening their horizon to something outside of soul food and something outside of like the regular fast casual food that we're known to like consume every single day. But this is not compromising an animal. Like, this is guilt-free food. This is food that you can really enjoy and have a great experience. So to see so many people who look like me patronizing this, not just because I'm a minority-owned business, but because the food is good, is really showing that we're progressing in a way that, okay, here we are, it's 2019. We're not susceptible to the diseases that in the African-American community we would have been. So, you know, the diabetes and the high cholesterol, okay, these are the people who are pretty much targets to those kind of illnesses, and they're jumping on the vegan and plant-based wave. It's a big deal. It's such a big deal, and every day that I see it, it makes me feel good about the fact that I can really expose different communities to a different way of eating, where we can walk away from the diseases that have been known for years in our community and what we're usually privy to.
That is so cool. And I bet you've had some pretty amazing conversations with people just about this whole topic and how they turned on to a vegan lifestyle or just are partaking every once in a while in that.
At Slutty Vegan, it's like, okay, that's the introduction. And the bigger conversation is the fact that they can go to another restaurant outside of Slutty Vegan and ask for vegan options. And that's the intention. So my target audience is the meat eater. You know, like, we've already gotten the vegans. The vegans are already on board. They already understand the health benefits of eating a animal-free lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
But for people who are hardcore carnivores, who eat meat every single day, who don't know anything different, those are the people that we attract, because those people are the people that we want to convert and make believers. And it's always a beautiful thing when we talk to people who literally like only eat meat and they'll never eat vegan or plant-based food. Oh no, it's disgusting. And then when they eat one of our burgers, we change their mind. It's an amazing feeling to know that we do that. And they'll never forget that experience. So whenever like they decide to like maneuver in their lifestyle change, they can always say their first experience with veganism was with Slutty Vegan. And that is us making history.
That's beautiful. You know, your social media savviness, I think, has been a key to getting this brand going on rocket fuel. Does that come from your TV producing background, or is it just an innate talent, or what? And what would you say that restaurateurs need to do more about on social media to gain voice, since you've kind of mastered this?
Right. Well, television has definitely been one of the key points in the success of Slutty Vegan. So I'm a creator, right? I'm a visionary. So whenever I have a thought in my mind, I love to see it manifest. And that's oftentimes what I do as it relates to the social media. Like, there's really no like method to the madness, rhyme or reason. Like, I could be driving and see something and like really like collect my thoughts and say, wow, this would be dope on social media, and being authentic and organic with it. That's what I would like share with, you know, my fellow entrepreneurs, people who are in the restaurant space. Literally, like, people love a story. People love authenticity. People love creativeness. Like, if you can make people think in a way where they're having fun while they think, where they're able to engage, you know that you've done something right. And because we've done it so organically, it's real, and people feel like they can touch it. You know what I mean? They feel like it belongs to them and they're invested in it. Like literally we'll post something, we'll post a question, and the engagement that we get is unbelievable because we don't pay a marketing company. You know, we don't pay anybody. We don't pay for marketing dollars. We don't pay for any of that. But it really is just a way to like make people feel included. And another thing that I do is, if you look at my page, the page is very clean, right? So you'll either get information or you'll get a visual. Like, and it's so clean because the day and age that we live in as it relates to technology, the attention span of the average human being is so short. So you have to be able to capture them one way or the other. And how I capture them is by two ways. Either I'm going to give you some information, and that's what we call the black and white, or I'm going to give you something to look at and to make you feel good and to evoke that kind of emotion. So you get the black and white or you get the visual. Either way, I'm going to engage you and I'm going to require you to engage. Like, you have no choice but to want to engage it when you see what you see. And that's the truth. And it's been working. And all of this, I didn't read anywhere. It's just one of those things because I know what people want to see. As a television producer, I know what people want. Like, this is why I don't watch TV, right? As a television producer, I don't watch it. It's so crazy because I know exactly, like, I can look and dissect a whole TV show. Like, they should have did this, they should have did this, this is different, this is off. So I don't really watch TV anymore, but I know what the average consumer wants. And what they want is they want to be able to pay for somebody to pay attention to them, because that's all we want. So if somebody follows that advice, if they're in the restaurant space as it relates to social media marketing, they too can have like a bump in their followers. They can have a bump in the engagement, and they can have people really wanting to come to their page as if it were a blog. Because at the end of the day, we're a restaurant that just so happens to have a really cool social media page, you know?
It's interesting that you simplified it to kind of the bare basics of it, and that really kind of helped me understand. You know, I want to know where the brand is headed, but I first was really interested in the option your brand has brought into food deserts in the poorer parts of cities where restaurants just don't see a way, I guess, to make ends meet. How would you address that belief? And what have you learned about the desire for healthful food in the less moneyed areas of town?
Well, the intention for Slutty Vegan is to be able to put more of a healthier alternative to meat in inner city communities or historic communities that have a lot of value, because that is where the mark is made. So in a lot of inner city communities, if you go to the average grocery store, there's a lot of meat products, a lot of products where they pump a lot of like antibiotics and chemicals into the meat. Granted, again, it's vegan comfort food, but this is a better option than to what is put into these supermarkets. So it's my mission to make sure that I can really corner all of the inner city communities and provide an option for people who live in those zip codes, because those are the people that I want to convert and transition their lifestyle. It doesn't really serve me to put a Slutty Vegan in the Beverly Hills, and I may do that. Not that I would never do it, but at first I would want to make sure that all the underserved communities can really have an opportunity to eat food in a different way, and not really have to like receive the food that's given to them. Now you have an option. And it's not the big boys, and you know, no shade to the big boys, but Slutty Vegan is coming up on the cusp where you can get a plant-based burger, you can get some plant-based cauliflower wings, and not feel sad about it, and not feel guilt-free, and animals don't have to be compromised to do that.
Wow. You know, I kind of wonder, and I don't know, what's next, say in the next 2 years? Where is Slutty Vegan going? Beverly Hills, right? Maybe.
Yeah, Beverly. Once I get all the inner city communities, Beverly Hills, yes. But so there's a lot of, you know, it's interesting because when I first started this, people asked me that question, and I had the plan. I'm like, okay, we're doing this, and then I'm doing this, and then this is what's going to happen next. But I get surprised every day in this business. You know, I had Colin Kaepernick and Cory Booker and like some major players in the industry and entertainment try my food. So anything is possible. So if it was up to me, and it is, I would make sure that Slutty Vegan Well, the short-term goal is to make sure that I can put at least 5 Slutty Vegans in the state of Georgia. So that's the short-term plan. But as it relates to long-term, I want Slutty Vegan to be as big of a chain as the McDonald's, as the Burger King. And I look at those companies as a resource for me to say, okay, I see what they've done to, garner their success. So Slutty Vegan, even though, I'm a small fish in a big pond right now, I'm growing. That fish is growing every single day. And it's my intention to make sure that Slutty Vegan will be in every single state and internationally. And that's just only in a matter of time.
My goodness. I have no doubt you will get there. Thank you so much for talking with us. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that, dear listeners, is going to wrap it up for this particular podcast. We certainly hope you had fun, learned something, and consider the past 20 minutes or so time well spent. We'll be right back again next week with another peek inside a great QSR brand. Until then, here's wishing you a great weekend and even better business in the week ahead. Bye-bye now.